Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and good evening. Today is Friday, 9th of November 2012. You're watching live updates from Arezo television. The headlines first. Negotiations over endorsement of Security Memorandum of Understanding between Kabul, Washington to be started between Afghan and US officials. United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan or UNIMA taking preparation for holding the second Afghan-owned summit. And finally, security situation in North Afghanistan advances. Now news in details with me, Sakhi Ahmad Arsalan. The negotiations over endorsement of the Security Memorandum of Understanding are supposed to be commenced between the US and Afghan officials in another week. Jawed, leading political deputy for the Foreign Ministry of Afghanistan, said two informal sessions have been held between Afghan and US officials, and it is highly expected that the next round of negotiations between Afghan and the US officials would be started by traveling a high-ranking American delegation to Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. According to Mr. Ludin, based on the security agreement between Kabul and Washington, the United States will have widespread existence in Afghanistan beyond 2014. Following endorsement of the strategic partnership agreement between Kabul and Washington, now America and Afghanistan are due to take preparations for commencement of negotiations over signing the Security Memorandum of Understanding between both nations. Jawed Ludin, political deputy for the Foreign Ministry of Afghanistan, joining an exclusive interview with Arezo television, said the US and Afghan officials have held two informal summits over the proposition so far, and the informal talks regarding endorsement of the security agreement between Kabul and Washington are supposed to be begun by traveling a high-ranking US panel to heart of Afghanistan, Kabul, in less than a week. According to Mr. Ludin, once the Security Memorandum of Understanding between Kabul and Washington is signed, America as a strategic ally to Afghanistan will have widespread presence in the country after the year 2014. Likewise, America's existence in Afghanistan after 2014 was deemed beneficial to the Afghan government. On the other hand, although some regional countries have raised their voices against endorsement of the security agreement between Kabul and Washington, political deputy for the Afghan Foreign Ministry assured in case any security memorandum of understanding jeopardizes the security circumstance of adjacent countries, it will certainly not be endorsed. This is while Russia, Pakistan, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and some other regional countries are against the long-term military presence of the United States in Afghanistan, and it was not deemed advantageous to the region and Afghanistan. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan or UNIMA is taking preparation for holding the second Afghan-owned summit in capital Kabul. Nazifullah Salarza, UNIMA spokesman to Kabul, said the session is supposed to be held with participation of Afghan political parties, civil society and human rights entities in less than 2 months, and the fundamental scope of the meeting is discovering solution for elimination of crisis after 2014. Although the United Nations report of lack of intervention in the summit, it has been described that the meeting mostly concentrate upon termination of war in Afghanistan. The United States of America still has not been successful in combat with terrorism in Afghanistan. Following Barack Obama's victory in the previous US presidential elections, the members of Afghan House of Representatives asserted, as a matter of fact, America has been unsuccessful in combat with terrorism in Afghanistan. According to Afghan parliamentarians, every single one of people of Afghanistan highly expects NATO and the United States to recognize and eradicate the fundamental donors of terrorism in both Afghanistan and Pakistan. Moreover, the members of Afghan Senate House reiterated interruption of Pakistan's supporting of terroristic groups alongside border. Following the US President Barack Obama's victory in the previous US presidential elections, hopes on establishment of new US strategy in combat with terrorism in Afghanistan increased. Although the US combat with terrorism mission in Afghanistan has been deemed abortive since America's existence in Afghanistan by members of the House of Representatives, the Afghan parliamentarians once again said that after the US President Barack Hussein Obama's victory in the US presidential elections, The US and NATO combat with terrorism mission in Afghanistan must intensify, and all safe havens of insurgents have to be destroyed. According to the Afghan parliamentarians, the people of Afghanistan are strongly looking forward NATO and the United States to exterminating safe havens of insurgents as soon as possible. On the other side, the government of Pakistan was once again demanded to stop backing terroristic groups operating in both sides of Afghanistan-Pakistan border by NATO, America, and the Afghan Senate House. The aforementioned allegations come as after Barack Hussein Obama's victory in the previous US presidential elections, the Afghan political parties and coalitions are profoundly anticipating America to pay more efforts in removing insurgents' hideouts in Afghanistan. Likewise, a number of Afghan political coalitions emphasized that America must abide by its commitments in bringing more pressures on Islamabad for combating with terrorism. The security situation in North Afghanistan has been better off with establishment of local police in North Zone. General Babajan, the commander of 303 Pamir Police Zone, said the Afghan local police have been established in 9 separate provinces of Afghanistan so far, and the activity of insurgents have dramatically devaluated in the region. At the meantime, according to General Babajan, the anti-government insurgents do not have the potential capability to combat with Afghan security forces in a face-to-face manner. Despite the fact that security condition in North Afghanistan has increasingly been deteriorating over the past 2 years, now police officials in North Zone report of betterment and development of security state in the area. General Babajan, the commander of 303 Pamir Police Zone in North Afghanistan, not only attributed the security situation's amelioration because of local police establishment in different districts of the zone, but also stressed expansion of local police establishment. In addition, General Babajan reported of killing and injuring 20 anti-government insurgents in the zone over the past week. In fact, the insurgents were slaughtered and wounded during several operations of Afghan police, and dozens of explosive bombs were gained. Afghan police officials report of betterment of security circumstances in North Afghanistan, while members of House of Representatives have been cautioning over insurgents' attempt to boost extremism in North Zone many times. The Salam and Impassable provinces of Afghanistan are facing natural disaster threats during the winter season. Local authorities and residents in Takhar province are worried about probability of weather's coldness, natural disasters, and the government's incapacity and trend of emergency aiding. As a result, the issue will result in killing dozens of people due to the aforementioned problems. Nevertheless, Faisal Begzod, Takhar provincial governor, assured over efforts of delivering emergency assistance to the victims of the natural disaster. Dawud Shah Sabah, Herat provincial governor, has announced that many countries have demonstrated their preparation for development and extraction of oil and gas mines in the province. For example, Kazakhstan is one of the countries which is interested in erection of a big oil refinery in the Triple area. In the meantime, a delegation on behalf of the Ministry of Mine Industry of the country is engaged in assessing oil and gas resources in North Herat. Although the work of surveying and marking gas and oil areas in southern district of Herat province has been running for 2 years, Dawud Shah Sabah, Herat provincial governor, reported of some neighboring countries' preparation for investment and extraction of oil and gas mines in the province. According to Herat provincial governor, many countries of the world still have demonstrated their enthusiasm in extraction of oil and gas mines in the province. For example, the Kazakh ambassador having a trip to Afghanistan's capital Kabul declared that Kazakhstan is ready to make an oil refinery in the province. In the meantime, according to Mr. Sabah, a number of companies have delivered their application for investment and extraction of oil and gas in Herat province, and document of the companies is under supervision. Additionally, according to officials of Herat Oil Department, in case the new oil refinery is built in the province by Kazakhstan, the problems arising from lack of gas and oil material will be sorted out in the country. This is while Canada had announced that it has discovered a new oil mine in south part of Herat province. Furthermore, a number of local authorities in Herat province said, besides surveying oil and gas areas in the province, Shaida copper mine has been put into voluntary. And finally, America is supposed to prolong its assistance to Afghanistan for economic development of Afghan residents. The head of U.S. International Development in Afghanistan deemed the economic growth of Afghan residents requisite for betterment of the economic situation in the country. And he also said the United States will continue its cooperation with Afghan residents so that they are able to boost their economic situation. The United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, is one of the entities which has spent billions of US dollars in different sectors in Afghanistan. In fact, dozens of huge infrastructural projects in different parts of the country are run and supported by the agency. Although the Afghan residents are worried about the devaluation of international community's financial cooperation with Afghanistan after 2013, the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, reiterated its assistance to Afghanistan. The president of the United States Agency for International Development to Afghanistan, having a trip to Kandahar province, said, "America is going to prolong its financial cooperation with Afghan residents for advancement of their economic level." According to Rishma Shita, head of the agency to Afghanistan, "We will carry over the trend of our assistance to Afghanistan in different sectors, such as growth of agricultural sector. In the life circumstance of Afghan residents will improve only by economic growth and consolidation of agricultural sector." At the meantime, Mrs. Shita reported of commencement of many infrastructural projects in Kandahar province in the near future. And now that brings us to wrap the news. Many thanks for joining us. Stay tuned with Arezo television. Have a good night ahead.